Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, honestly mind-boggling paradox about the world's biggest sporting stage. When we think of the FIFA World Cup, we picture this totally global tournament, right? Nations of all sizes bringing their absolute best to the pitch. But there is a glaring, giant absence in this global phenomenon. So we're going to unpack exactly why this one specific massive country has literally never made an appearance. And as you'll see, the answer isn't just about football. It's actually so much bigger than that.
Let's kick things off with this staggering number, 240 million. Pakistan boasts a population of over 240 million people. I mean, just wrap your head around the sheer scale of that for a second. With that many individuals, you're looking at an immense, almost unfathomable talent pool. Statistically speaking, a population of this size should naturally produce a ton of elite, world-class athletes across a whole bunch of disciplines, including, obviously, the world's most popular sport.
And yet, despite that massive pool of potential, zero. Pakistan has made exactly 0 appearances in the FIFA World Cup. They've never qualified, not even once. How does a country with such an enormous population end up with 0 presence at the ultimate international football tournament? To solve this puzzle, we've got to peel back the layers of the country's sporting culture, its infrastructure, and its, frankly, turbulent history. Section 1. The shadow of cricket. Unlike countries where football is the absolute undisputed king, Pakistan has traditionally poured its energy and wealth into cricket. Cricket is basically a magnet there. It pulls in the vast majority of funding, the media spotlight, and crucially, the dreams of young athletes. Football, meanwhile, it's kind of left fighting for scraps, operating on way fewer resources. It's incredibly tough to build a globally competitive football team when the sport is constantly struggling just for basic funding and national attention. Which brings us to Section 2, Administrative Struggles and Suspensions. For years, Pakistani football has been bogged down by deep administrative problems that kicked off a really devastating domino effect. It starts with internal disputes within the national federation, these structural clashes that eventually triggered actual real-life suspensions from FIFA. And when that happens, everything just grinds to a halt. Player development is totally disrupted, coaching stalls out, and international play is completely off the table. Imagine trying to build a competitive squad when you aren't even legally allowed to play on the international stage. Moving on to Section 3, the infrastructure gap. To really grasp this gap, we have to look at the basics of a world-class football program. World Cup powerhouses have spent decades pouring money into thousands of licensed coaches, state-of-the-art facilities, and highly organized youth systems that constantly churn out talent. Pakistan, by contrast, is still really trying to build that foundation from the ground up. Without that consistent investment in modern training facilities and organized youth academies, going toe-to-toe with those powerhouse nations is virtually impossible.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Section 4, a surprising football connection.
You might be sitting there thinking, okay, if they've never qualified and they're lacking all this infrastructure, what connection could possibly Pakistan have to the FIFA World Cup? Is there any connection at all?
The answer is a resounding yes, and it's a massive one. Ironically, while the Pakistani national team isn't out there on the pitch, the country is literally right in the middle of the action. Pakistan actually produces some of the world's absolute best footballs. In fact, the official match balls used in multiple FIFA World Cups were manufactured right in the city of Sialkot, Pakistan. It's this wild piece of trivia that hits the nail on the head of our whole paradox. The country's world-class craftsmanship is front and center at the greatest sports tournament on earth, even while its athletes are missing. Let's tie it all together. Section 5. The real reasons for the absence. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Pakistan's absence from the World Cup is absolutely not because of a lack of talent among its 240 million citizens. The raw potential is 100% there. Instead, they're missing out because of 3 major hurdles. First, years of limited investment that overwhelmingly got diverted to cricket. Second, crippling administrative challenges that literally led to FIFA suspensions. And third, a much slower developmental timeline for youth academies and facilities compared to countries that have been laying this groundwork for decades. Which leaves us with one really compelling thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. The raw potential of a nation with 240 million people is undeniable, right? We know the talent exists. The real question is, when will the internal structural issues get resolved and the proper infrastructure built so that Pakistan's true football potential can finally be unleashed on the world stage? Until those foundations are laid, this massive population paradox is going to remain. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep asking the big questions.